Come walk with us tonight as we delve into Spirits of the South.
On this episode of Maps travels to the complete southern end of Mobile County, to the glorious Dauphin Island, Alabama. In 1519, the Spanish explorer Alonso Alvarez de Pineda was the first documented European to visit, staying long enough to map the island with remarkable accuracy. The island's French history began on January 31st, 1699, when the explorer Pierre Lemoyne Sieur d'Iberville, one of the founders of French Louisiana, arrived at Mobile Bay and anchored near the island on his way to explore the mouth of the Mississippi River. D'Iberville mistakenly named it L'Île Massacre Island because of a large pile of human skeletons discovered there. In reality, the site was a Mississippian burial mound which had been broken up by a hurricane, not a massacre site. During the summer months, Dauphin Island beaches attract tourism, swimming, and fishing as popular activities in the water around the island. Our first stop on Dauphin Island was to the historic Fort Gaines. The site consists of 5 buildings inside the exterior walls, tunnel systems, and corner bastions with spiral stone staircases to the gun placements above. It displays cannons that were used in the battle and the anchor from Admiral Farragut's flagship, the USS Hartford, as well as maintaining an operational blacksmith shop and kitchens. The fort was named after General Edmund Gaines for his service and recognition as a war hero during the War of 1812. Construction began on Fort Gaines in 1821. The fort was not fully completed until 1861. It's most famous for its involvement in the Battle of Mobile Bay during the Civil War. The Battle of Mobile Bay lasted throughout the month of August 1864, when the Union Army and Navy attacked the 3 forts of Mobile Bay to take control of the important strategic location. On August 3rd, 1,500 Union troops landed on Dauphin Island and moved towards the fort. The attack from sea began on August 5th, led by Admiral David Farragut from his flagship, the USS Hartford. Farragut is famous for his command during the battle, yelling, "Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead." The Union Army and Navy bombarded the fort for 3 days. Colonel Charles Anderson finally surrendered after realizing that they could not defeat the Union troops on August 8th, 1864. Alright, so right now I'm at Fort Gaines. It's my second trip here. Right now I'm in the bakery area. Looks like I caught a couple of EMF spikes over in the officer's kitchen. I know the last time we was here we got a few in here, a few EVPs. And I'm just trying to see what we can catch. As we come out into the courtyard, you notice this wide open. It's in these wide open spaces that some of the spirits still linger, still speak. If you're willing to listen. Do they know what they're doing? Do they know that the war is over? They seem to go about their busy day as if nothing ever happened, spouting commands. During these times of war, it was hard for a soldier who normally had to abandon his life, his loved ones, his family, to help with the war effort. Although some of the spirits here seem to have a residual nature to them, there are a few that are intelligent, as in this area where me and a couple other members of the MAPS team walked in and disturbed the individuals that was there. Not only did we disturb them, but they decided to take some form of action against us at this time. If there's anybody here, can you walk towards me? I don't know if the wind just blew, but I gotta breathe.
There was a bird.
Huh?
I didn't feel the breeze.
You didn't feel one? We now come around to the more mundane part of the fort, the officers' kitchen quarters. Meals would have been prepped for the soldiers and the civilians that were stationed inside the fort. This just so happens to be one of the most active places inside the fort as well. We are now in the officer's kitchen area. It was you? During these times of war, soldiers would have been patrolling the tops of the fort, looking out for any pending attacks from all directions that surrounded the fort. It's sad that this is a historic landmark, and it has been defaced by graffiti, and it seems the spirits know this.
You getting the pictures for it? All right.
Even topside, it sounds as if some of the spirits are in pain and that they know their final destination. They also seem to know that they have a never-ending job, a never-ending task. Due to the fort's location near the coastline, it's constantly under attack by different storms, hurricanes, flooding, and these storms often have repercussions to the fort. The fort's been hit by some of the biggest storms in history, and it's important as people that we try to preserve the fort, try to help rebuild. That way we can keep a piece of history intact for future generations to discover. This is the last area that I investigated while I was here this time. Last year, while we were here, we were able to get some helpful advice from a spirit concerning children.
Connor, be careful, there ain't no handrail.
Yes, sir.
There ain't no handrail, bro.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, it's slippery too. Shit.
Oh, this is a good one.
Our next stop on this trip to Dauphin Island was the Cadillac Square. Last year, an individual that lives bordering the park asked us to investigate.
All right. So, is there anybody here that wishes to speak? I understand there was a gentleman that killed himself right here.
Unfortunately, in 2007, there was an individual that
Cool spot right here
committed
in front of
suicide
me.
in this park at one of these tables. I'm unaware of what table it was, but I sat down to investigate
I'm directly speaking to that gentleman.
and focused my investigation around it.
Can you come over here and speak to me? can speak into this camera and I will be able to hear you. My name is Josh. I'm a paranormal investigator.
Our last stop on the island was the Dauphin Island Shell Mound Park. The park is actually two major features, a large shell ridge to the north and a partial shell ring to the south. A small stream fed by a nearby freshwater spring originally flowed through the area between the features and served as an important drinking water source. As a barrier island, Dauphin Island was a part of a complex environment that included sand beaches, tidal marshes, and shallow lagoons that are rich in sea life. The abundance of food, fresh water, and other essential resources in the immediate area made the location a popular seasonal settlement for indigenous peoples for over 1,000 years.
Bonjour.
Zacro!
Are you speaking to the birds?
because it's been sitting in the sun.
No way.
Shell ring mounds such as the one located here are scattered along the Atlantic and Gulf Coast. They likely represent gathering sites where people came together at various times of the year to harvest fish, shellfish, and marine birds and other animals to feast together and exchange goods and ideas. Their layout and artifact distribution often shows evidence of social structure with important individuals such as religious and political leaders occupying houses at the highest point and opposite the main entrance to the ring and surrounded by the houses of other lesser leaders and prominent warriors. This site is very important to numerous southeastern indigenous tribes who assert ancestral connection with those who built and occupied Alabama's ancient mounds. The prehistoric earthworks and the objects and information recovered from them reveal a rich cultural tradition that still thrives today among these tribes. Our indigenous mound sites represent a heritage for all Alabamians to cherish, and it's important that we protect and preserve them for future generations. You'll notice some of the shells on the ground right here in this walking path. This is part of a shell mound. The elevation goes up and down while walking through this part, and you can actually tell where the shell mounds used to be. There is a certain vibe while you're inside this park that screams just Native American culture, Native American presence. It seems to be residual, but at the same time, too, there are certain entities that are intelligent and they love to comment on what you're doing, love to comment on what you're saying. And at the end of this little segment, I will let you listen to some of the EVPs that was caught while I was just walking down the path, not even questioning nothing.
where we started it.
Subscribe to our channel and join us on this thrilling journey. Because here at Maps, we're not just investigating the paranormal. We're becoming part of Mobile's unfolding story.